to all you boils and ghouls.
Of course.
Welcome back to another episode of Pizza Bagels.
It's the pizza and the bagel.
And we got a fun one because this is going to be our Pizza Bagel Halloween extravaganza.
Spooky.
By the time you guys listen, Halloween's going to be tomorrow.
That's right. And I think that you might be the person who loves the Halloween more than anybody I know.
I do.
Yeah.
I honestly, Halloween and Patties are the only holidays I give a fuck about.
Yeah, you're real big into like the scary movies and stuff, and I know this is your time of year.
Yeah, I probably watch horror movies like almost every day. We have a whole spare bedroom for people to crash in that's all horror themed. So
yeah, you take it pretty serious.
This is definitely my time of the year.
Hell yeah.
So, I did want to throw a quick mention on here. I was looking at some of the stats for our listens. We have officially broken 100 cities, different cities that people listen to us in.
100 cities.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Amazing, right? And actually, I think when I looked this morning, I think it was like 106.
Wow.
But we're getting there. 10 different countries, over 100 cities. We're making moves, baby.
That's fucking incredible. Because, I mean, when we started, it was like Lakewood and Avon Lake, like where you live and where I live.
Yeah.
And then it was like, we had like Westlake and like Rocky River, like just towns around here. And now we're in 106 different cities in 10 fucking countries.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Dope, right?
Yeah, it's shot-worthy is what it is.
Oh, it sure is. You know what? You're right. Let's congrats.
Congrats to us.
To us.
And to you listeners.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you. And,
it's all because of you.
Fuck yeah. Over 100 cities. Amazing.
Salud.
Cheers.
Yep. So,
nice.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing.
And especially, I think, like, when did we start this?
This has got to be like our 20th episode.
Actually, 21.
Yeah.
So, what were we saying, about 4 months ago?
5 months.
4 or 5 months ago?
Yeah, 5 months. So we're getting 20 cities a month. Yeah. And it's always going to be that it's going to be the smallest increments in the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, because you have to like blow up from the center, and then it's just going to get bigger and bigger. So
yeah, and huge thanks to all you guys.
Absolutely,
spreading the word, helping us out. Obviously, at least most of you probably think we're funny.
Oh, I certainly hope. Or you fucking hate us, and either way, totally good with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't give a shit. Yeah.
Hey, check out Pizza Bagels. These guys are a fucking joke.
Yeah. Look, any fucking asshole can make a podcast. Awesome. Fucking listen to it.
Yeah.
Prove it. Yeah. What a bunch of fucking assholes. I'm gonna listen. That'll show them.
And yeah, I mean, people love the dick and farts.
Fuck yeah. Who doesn't love dicks and farts? Right.
Or it's just even, last week's episode where we interviewed that predator.
Yeah, we sure did. We caught him.
Yeah, and which we did catch him.
We reeled in a predator.
We sure did. If you guys this is your first episode, go back to the last one called "We Caught a Predator."
Yeah, it's wild.
That is fucking crazy.
I'm sure you saw when I reposted our links. What do you call somebody who's on that? I mean, besides the predator.
Oh yeah, because you're
what
like.
Do you refer to? I was like, yeah, we had a contestant on from To Catch a Predator, but then it seems like he's gonna go high five Bob Barker afterwards.
Yeah.
That's kind of a dick thing for somebody who's like, typically trying to bang an underage female.
Right. I don't know.
I'm going with contestant.
I like contestant.
Yeah,
I think that's fun.
Yeah, it is. It sounds like they have a chance of winning at the end, which is nice. Which our guy kind of did by not losing the most.
Yeah. No spoiler alerts.
That's a fucking rough game right there, friends.
Yeah. So, and actually, speaking of that episode, you asked a poll for people to take about
the cookies.
The cookies, yeah. There was an option for those of you who haven't listened to the episode yet. There was an option that this predator had with a bowl in front of him that had chocolate chip and oatmeal raisins on there. Mm-hmm. And the bagel and I had a little tiff over oatmeal raisins.
We did. Because if you haven't listened to the episode, the guy was telling us the story, and I'm like, let me get this straight. You made this bad decision, this bad decision, this bad decision, and then you got the oatmeal raisin cookie? Like, what the fuck are you? It's like, you're so punishing yourself. Have a fucking chocolate chip. You're already having a day. Like, why? You're going to be healthy on top of it? Go fuck that.
And so we asked everybody, to text into the show our Pizza Bagel hotline, 440-363-0121. But as the Bagel said, he was asking everybody what's the better cookie.
Yeah, and how anybody could possibly say that oatmeal raisin is their favorite cookie.
So funny enough, it was only a handful of texts that came in, but it was pretty close. It was like, I mean, there was more chocolate chip, which I figured it would, but there was still a couple oatmeal raisins.
Over chocolate chip.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I've never heard anything so stupid in my whole life.
Listen, the people they're putting their votes in.
Okay, let's just to clarify. Oatmeal, disgusting. Raisins, disgusting. Okay? Cookies, excellent. Putting hot breakfast cereal and raisins into your fucking cookies, disgusting. This is wrong.
Do you think that those were created by like a grandma?
Yeah.
I feel
would
like
have to.
Everyone like associates like grandmas with cookies, right? Like,
and raisins.
For like the grandchildren and raisins.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are handing out conveniently today.
At Halloween.
They're handing out those tiny little red boxes, like sun-made
raisins. Box, yeah, where they're all smashed together into one giant raisin ball.
Just, if all the raisins stick together, it's one raisin.
Those are the things that you would ball up and throw at, like, the queer kids. We know by that I don't mean that they're homosexual. I'm talking about children when we're trick-or-treating. I mean the ones that were goofy and awkward. You would throw those at the ball of raisins at them. Because who's going to eat the fucking raisins?
I did.
What?
Like you said, just eat one
disgust
ball.
You would ball it up and eat it all as one?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, my God.
Listen, I would do weird things with different foods. Like, I remember eating Slim Jims as a kid, and I'd take that first bite, and then, like the skin's kind of hanging up there.
Yeah.
I would
You
grab it with my teeth, and I'd fucking pull it all the way off.
First of all, who's letting you have Slim Jims when you're a kid?
My folks.
What the fuck? I thought you couldn't even buy those till you were like 18.
Slim Jims?
Yeah, don't they card you for those in cigarettes when you go to the gas station? You can't just be like 10 and walk in there like I had like a Mountain Dew and a Slim Jim.
Wait a second. How old are you? I'm 11, I swear.
Yeah.
You look 10.
Yeah, exactly.
I was 10
you got ID?
last year, pussy.
Right. Exactly.
Give me my Slim Jim.
Yeah. And then you just stand there and keep eye contact while you peel it with your teeth. Fuck,
that would be hilarious.
Gross.
Yeah, so, I mean, I had one person said they're like, yeah, chocolate chip cookies are good, but, like, oatmeal raisin, you're like, I'll fuck with that shit. And then they're like, and even over that, then they went to peanut butter over all of them. They're like, peanut butter cookies are king.
We're going to get into this as well because it's going to come up when we talk about other Halloween stuff, I'm sure. But I'll get to it when we get to it. But I'm going to be going off on peanut butter in a minute, so get yourself fucking prepared.
So that being said, chocolate chip was the winner. I already just assumed that it was going to be.
Did anybody say oatmeal raisin is my favorite cookie?
No.
Okay.
No one said. Well, I mean, the one person said that they would take oatmeal cookies over chocolate chip, but they still said that peanut butter was like king.
Okay.
So not their favorite, but they would have took the same move as the Predator and took the oatmeal over the chocolate chip.
See, I can understand somebody taking peanut butter cookies, even though I never would, because that's a question of taste. But oatmeal raisin, it's a matter of principle. I'm not eating that shit. Okay, it's either a cookie or a healthy breakfast. It can't be both.
Yeah. So, already looking forward to see what we decide to have a poll in for this episode.
Yeah.
So, and as we mentioned before, for everybody to like fucking text in whatever you want. If you want to make drunken phone calls, we have a voicemail. Fucking leave us whatever the fuck.
Fuck yeah. 3:30 in the morning. You want to spout off about something? Go ahead.
You can
don't
make
have to
fun
leave
of
your
us.
name.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want. We're going to end up shouting out something about it, I'm sure. So drop us a line and leave us a fucked up message. We want to hear it.
If you leave a voicemail, we will in fact play it that very next episode.
Yeah. Hopefully we have to bleep out a bunch of stuff.
So that being said, we did in fact receive a voicemail.
Nice. This is our first.
Yeah, we got our first one. You want to have a little listen?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Let's see. This should work. Let's see.
Hey, Pizza. Hey, Bagel. Excellent episode interviewing the Predator. I just wanted to call in and say that I think it's really interesting that, he met Chris Hansen and almost got on the show. I've been trying to get on that show since I was, 19. And I've gone to so many houses and he's never there. It's really disappointing. Anyway, see you soon. Love the show. Bye.
Awesome. awesome first voicemail caller. That is fabulous.
Yeah, that's pretty sick, right?
Wants to be the next contestant on How to Catch a Predator.
To catch a predator. Yeah, he wants to be a contestant.
He wants to be a contestant. It's definitely a contestant. That's definitely what it is. And I love that he's been, really sowing his oats, going to all these houses. Like chicks are just like, yeah, come on in. And he's like waiting for some dude to come out in a suit and be like, what are you doing here? He's be like, fuck yeah. What's up, Chris?
Yeah, he's not even interested in like the 14-year-old girls. He's just pretending to be a predator.
Yeah, he's like, yo, can I just get a quick selfie and get the fuck out of here, Hanson? Because that's all I'm here for. I fuck that chick, but only with the words I just used, not with my dick.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And all those other houses that he's been to, then and it's like Chris called in sick, or he's at a different house.
Can you imagine if
Sorry, your princess is in another castle.
Right, exactly. Or like Chris Hansen has the flu, so they put in some other guy, and some other guy's like, what are you doing here? And you're like, what are you doing here? Like, where the fuck is Chris? Oh, he's got the flu. Like, fuck that. I'll come back to this 12-year-old girl's house on Thursday then when he feels better. I'm trying to meet some fucking third-rate Chris Hansen.
I can wait it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be back.
Yeah, it's not like she's going to be 18 in 4 days.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So, listen, guys, you heard it here first. Send us fucking goofy ass shit like that. You can make fun of us. You can compliment the show. You can, add on from the episode you listen to.
Ideas for another episode, whatever.
Yeah,
just shoot out whatever you want. We'll put you. We'll hype you up on air, and we'll talk about it.
Leave us a message, and we'll play it on the show.
Goddamn right. Love it.
Yeah. I just wanted to kind of get all the fun celebration things out of the way. Those were all very exciting. I was very excited to tell you.
This is a lot of exciting stuff. That interview was awesome and totally outside of the box for us, and I had a great time doing it. Mm-hmm. It's fun. I mean, listen, I love dicks and farts just like you do, but it was fun to have a non-all dick and fart joke episode, so that was a lot of fun. 100 cities, 10 countries, first voicemail, getting text messages. This is taking off, baby.
Yeah,
we're getting there. I love it. Do you think if we ever get big enough that we'll necessitate a bartender?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just someone to sit here and laugh and then pour us shots 8 times in an hour so that we can be properly hydrated while we make magic.
We can snap our fingers like in Trailer Park Boys where they're like, Trevor, smokes, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, chips, let's go.
Yeah, so, because when you're listening to the higher end podcast shows, they have a whole fucking sound and editing team, and you're like, hey, what the fuck is this? And they're the ones looking it up for us. Well, yeah, dude, it'll be sick when we can do that, but we're also going to have a shots guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would love that.
But Trevor, shots, let's go.
My buddy's bachelor party, we had a party bus and we were going all over downtown, and his dad, the bachelor's dad who went with us, hired one of our female friends as a bartender on the party bus. Is that necessary? No, we just had coolers of beer and shit.
I mean,
and
that's
bottles
typical
of booze that we're just passing around. But he was like, I want her to come, and it's boys only, and I can throw some money at her, and she can just open beers and laugh with us. So, it was awesome.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. So we would just be like, hey, give me a fucking claw. And she's like, go fuck yourself. Get your own claw. And then Richard, his dad, is like, I'm like, you fucking paid her. Make her open the goddamn claw. Fuck, man. But it was great and totally unnecessary.
Yeah. Well, I guess let's get into it.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween, guys. Yeah. Well, early Halloween. Halloween will be tomorrow.
That's right. After this drops, yeah.
Do you guys get any kids come through your neighborhood? Do you pass out candy?
We don't. So we don't because we don't get kids. I honestly, with us living in Avon Lake and it being the street that we're on is so quiet and we're the only house that doesn't have kids, I thought for sure we were going to get a ton of kids. So the first year we got so much fucking candy and we did decorations and shit. Not one kid. 0.
That's odd, especially being Avon Lake. You guys are the poor street of Avon Lake. No one wants to come down it.
Dude, it's a fucking sweet street. That's the other thing. I thought for sure, but there must. I mean, maybe we are Avon Lake poor. It is a nice street, but I'm sure there are. When I lived in Bay Village, I lived on Long Beach. Me and Dr. Dre over on in the LBC in Bay Village. Which is a nice street. It's right by Huntington Beach, but I never went trick-or-treating on my street. I went to the fucking rich areas where I knew it was king size all day.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mainly grew up in Fairview. And I'm
not going on Long Beach. I'm going to fucking Huntington Woods Parkway, baby. That's where all the good shit is.
Yeah. we would definitely start over in like Westlake or Bay or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we'd fucking come back and like Fairview, the streets are just fucking just cut and paste. Like,
Sure.
So we would just literally like up and down, up and down, up and down.
See, we were conniving when we were kids. We would like paint our faces and then wear masks over them. So we would go to Huntington Woods and we would just do one trip through with our masks on and then take a second trip back to the good houses with our masks off and our faces painted and go back to double up on the good shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I just saw a video of this guy that he made like a little, basically like a little mannequin of like a little boy and dressed him up in like a Spider-Man outfit. And the hands are standing out like this,
Nice.
and it's holding like a Mark's bag, right?
Uh-huh.
And he would set them on the step and then ring the doorbell and then stand behind like, oh, I'm just the dad watching my
that's
son.
awesome.
So the parents, the people would come out and they'd be like, oh, happy Halloween, and then they'd drop the candy in the bag, and then he would literally just grab the kid by the leg and like throw it over his shoulder and walk away. And we were
That's
like,
awesome.
what the fuck was that? Because they can't tell at
That's
first.
so awesome. Well, I was kind of hoping that it was going to be something like the weight of the candy would make the kid topple over, and then he would just run away.
Oh, that actually would
Like
have been a
the
lot
kid
funnier.
would just like land face first, and he'd be like, "Fuck," and just take off running. Like that's your problem now.
That would be actually really funny.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a bummer about your neighborhood, man.
it is. It is.
We've had pretty good years. Some years it's kind of slow. Some years it's like insane. We've run out of candy.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is too, though, is we also get treats for the parents.
Okay.
So
what?
we get like the little like airplane bottles of like booze.
Nice.
You know, get like a whole mixture of those.
That's
you know,
awesome.
like because they get like little fireballs and tequila and rum and whatnot.
Yeah, they're like $1 a piece.
Yeah.
So you can get a bunch of them and hand them out. That'd be a lot of fun.
And like we'll have like a bucket that has like all of those. Plus there's like koozies and like other fun shit for the parents. So when the kids come up, we have like the candy bucket, and we're like,
I
go
like
ahead,
that.
take a piece, and then we like look at the parents and we're like,
You're up.
yeah, like you want parent trick or treats, and they're like, well, what do you have in there? And of course they're walking around with their little coffee mugs or what are those
Yeah.
like
Like a travel mug.
yeah, whatever those things
Yeah.
are called that everyone has. Yeah, they're of course they got a fucking claw or a beer or something in there.
Or it's just like half booze and it's half coffee. Or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, for sure. So then they go, ooh, like what do you have?
Right.
And I go, well, come up to the steps and you can see. And then they're like, oh shit. And they're like,
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be super fun.
And then they're just all picking through like all the little liquor bottles and koozies and what have you.
That's a great idea. Mm-hmm. That's a great idea.
So hopefully we're like they remember and they're like, well, we have to go back down this street,
Right.
you know, and because I want to get mommy and
course.
daddy need
Yeah,
a shot.
Exactly. Yeah, I would do the same thing, right? Mask, face paint. And
Yeah.
you'd be like, I recognize you from your body shape, dickhead. If you wanted a second shot, you could have just asked for one. I don't know what you're talking about. It's my first time here. I'm just gonna get hammered in your driveway.
Yeah, we only had like one or two people, like parents, that were like disgusted. They're like, "Why the fuck would you do that?" And be like, "I don't know, because you're a stupid,
adult.
responsible
Yeah,
adult.
Just say no. Don't be a dick about
Yeah.
it. Like
It's not for you,
Yeah,
apparently."
now, there have been lots of things going on, going around like Facebook and stuff about some people trying to like set a cutoff age on when you're too old to trick or treat.
Interesting.
What are your thoughts? Like if you had like two 20-year-olds show up at your house ringing the doorbell like trick or treat,
Honestly,
are you giving them candy?
yeah. I don't give a fuck.
That's what I'm saying.
dude.
Who
If
gives a
they're
fuck?
dressed up, I mean, if they're
You're
just
putting in
like,
the effort,
yeah, I mean, if they like just have like a sweatshirt on and like they have like two black lines and they're like, oh, I'm
Right.
like an army guy,
Right.
You know, it's like
I'm
no.
ironic.
Yeah, I'm like, no,
you.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Your friends. I don't give a shit that you guys are 23. Everyone's getting candy except for you because your costume fucking sucks.
Exactly.
You didn't even try. I don't think there should be an age limit.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck.
shit.
If you have a costume on, and the thing is too is like, you know, as you get older and more an adult, and you're actually gonna go do the trick or treating, you're probably not really gonna put a lot of effort, and I get that.
I think that's true for some people, but I think a lot of people go the opposite way. I think that a lot of people, it's like, you know, people that do like cosplay and shit like that, they probably go fucking bananas for.
And also still
Halloween.
going trick or treating.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would think that old people would get into some pretty serious costumes. So, yeah. I mean, if you're handing out candy, give it to fucking any. I'm not going to be there. Like, you're too old to have fun.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah.
You're too old to have a mound.
That's the fucking. That's
What
the
fuck?
the
Who am I?
Karens of
Yeah.
everything that's now ruining
Right.
the one thing that's it's for fucking everybody.
Yeah, if you're 40 years old and you're putting on a costume and trick-or-treating by yourself, that's sad, and you can have as much candy as you fucking want.
Right. I mean, if you think about this too, like, all right, Christmas, you got to stress yourself out, spend a bunch of money buying presents,
Right.
and getting everything wrapped and not forgotten when you go to the family house and trade off presents. Thanksgiving, right? You're just going to hang out and dealing with the family drama and just eating, right?
Try not to get too drunk and embarrass yourself.
Right. But Halloween, just fucking throw on a costume and just walk down the street and get some free candy. Exactly. It's for you. You dressed up. You deserve it.
That's what I say. I don't give a shit. Like, it doesn't matter. And it's just fucking candy. Who fucking cares?
Yeah. Also, can we talk about how all these like articles are like, be careful with your children because people are going to be handing out like the THC gummies.
Oh my God. So dumb.
Nobody wants to give their drugs away for free.
Dude, I have so many edibles at my house. So many edibles at my house, and you can't have any. Like you can't have any.
You know how much I fucking paid for this kid?
And I drove to Monroe. It's a 3-hour round trip drive, and I spent like $400. I'm not handing those out to a bunch of 9-year-olds because I think it'd be funny for them to be high in an hour and 40 minutes. You know what I mean? That's not happening. You
don't even get to even like see like the fun of a child being high if you were that kind of.
Plus, the edibles I get would murder
villain
a child. Would fucking. I mean, I'm eating like 100 milligram edibles. Kids would. Yeah, that's when That's when the cops would have to investigate, and I would go to prison for giving those out.
Yeah, is it fucking worth it?
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, like I said, you have to be a complete fucking villain.
Right. Now, I think we had the conversation about how I did take a bunch of different types of edibles that were similarly sized, and I just poured them into a candy dish at my house. So, like, maybe if we ran out of candy, and Jen was like, oh, shit, here's a thing of gummy bears, and handed them out, and they were my edibles, I'd let her go to prison for that, though. I'd say that was her shit. I'd be like, listen, I know that they would seem like they were mine, but I would never be so stupid as to hand my edibles out to children. Fuck children, and I want my edibles. That's my defense. For the tiny little body bags that are going to be littered all over Avon Lake because we ran out of candy and handed out 100 milligram edibles instead. Fuck. Yeah, but that's such a dumb argument. I mean, I understand the argument, like, these things are marketed in a way where it seems like it's for children. And that's sort of true and sort of not. Like the ones that I got one time, they're called Stony Patch, and they look like gummy bears. They're intentionally, but it's to be ironic, and it's to be, like a little bit throwback for me, because it's like, hey, this is back in the 80s, and they know people that are taking these are like 30 years old, 40 years old. So yeah, so it's fun for us to have a little throwback like that, but nobody's just like, fuck yeah, I'm just going to give out these gummies to a bunch of strange, weirdo children from the neighborhood.
Do you think that, like, the edible gummies being passed on Halloween is like the new, like, razor and the apple, or like the poison in the candy? Definitely. Like, this is the new one?
Definitely. There's always got to be something that you have to watch out for in your Halloween candy. And yeah, like, when people would, I remember my mom telling me, like, if it doesn't come in a packaged, sealed package, you can't accept. Like, if somebody makes brownies, you can't have a brownie.
There could be. You can put your weed in there, man.
Right. Or they could put razor blade. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know anybody who ever ate brownies with razor blades.
Not a single person.
And she was like, well, if you eat, like, what if somebody makes you a caramel apple, they could, like, inject it. I'm like, I'm not eating any fruit, Mom. Never.
I don't think you understand. It's Halloween. I'm eating candy.
I'm eating candy. Yeah. That's why I don't have to worry about people injecting my raisins with AIDS, Tony, because I'm not eating the fucking raisins. Okay? It doesn't matter what you inject into them. I'm not eating them.
Also, I mean, I guess, don't get me wrong, if people were actually inserting razor blades into brownies or apples, which I feel like, apple, that's ridiculous, right? Like, yeah. How the fuck are you going to, like, try to get a razor blade inside of an apple, like, and not be noticeable? Like, right. I don't know.
I'm sure it can be done, but to what end?
And to what? Like,
how many houses are handing out apples?
Also, you're not even going to be able to get a bite all the way through that brownie because your teeth are going to clink on the fucking razor blade. Granted, maybe you might get your tongue cut. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But maybe. It's still fucking stupid.
Maybe. But how many, when you went trick-or-treating, how many apples were in your sack when you came home?
Zero.
Yeah. So if there was one weirdo handing out apples filled with razors, and you went, oh, I got this sweet candy apple, and you take a bite of it, and then you cut half of your tongue off with a razor blade, and your mom goes, see, I told you not to eat that shit. You probably don't even know where you got it from. You'd be like, I'll tell you exactly where I got it from. The only house that's handing out fucking apples.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not like it was in a fucking mini Snickers bar, and you're going to be like, fuck, I got like 30 of those. You're going to be like, oh, is that creepy fucking weirdo at a boner was handing out apples? That's the guy.
You know, as fucking stupid as it all is, I kind of love the old, like, lure of it all.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's just that, like, oh, you don't go to the scary German guy's house
Right.
because he hands out
the bad
candy
guy.
apples with razor blades in them.
Right.
You'll slice your tongue off and never be able to talk again.
Yeah.
You won't
it
be able
was
to
fun
tell
be
on him.
Terrorized like that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
speaking of candy,
Okay.
you got any, like, favorites? Like, I don't care if it's getting for Halloween or just what are your favorite candies?
So I'm typically not a big candy guy, but I do eat candy around Halloween, mostly because it's always present.
And it's fun size.
And it's always
easy to go. You don't have to eat
always
like a
fun
whole
size.
thing.
Yeah, because I'm never going to be a guy who's going to like get a Snickers bar and just house it.
Did you did you have any like favorites like growing up? Like going through like Halloween? Like when you dump your fucking pillowcase or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck on the floor and you're like digging through everything and you're like, fuck yeah, there's this in here.
Yeah. For me, it's always been peanut M&Ms, which are still probably my favorite candy of all time.
Okay.
Crunch bars and 100 grand.
100 grand. Oh,
Yeah.
those came in like the red wrapper, right?
Yeah.
Those ones those have like the almond in it.
Yeah, they have like
It was
that,
like a crunch bar but with like an almond.
Yeah, kind of. It's like a little bit like a Twix bar. So it's got like that like crispy rice, but it's also got like caramel in it, and it's got chocolate. It's a mix of things, but it had a lot of good crunchy texture to it. So I like those. I also like paydays. I don't know how you feel about that.
Paydays just make me think of the Goonies.
Yeah, that's true. But I do like that because it's not super sweet, and I'm not into
Yeah.
I'm not into chocolate all that much, and I'm not into stuff that's super super sweet.
Just in the nuts.
It's just just give me that.
There's a lot of nut.
Yeah, I'll take all the nut I can get. What about you? Favorites?
I don't really eat candy as an adult. To the point that if I do get a craving, if I if I buy like a fucking Reese's, I usually only eat one of the cups and I give the other one away.
That's right, because they typically come in twos.
Typically, yeah. I mean, now you can get like the little bigger ones that are solo, but if I buy like a Twix, right, I'd eat probably one of them and give the other three to whoever's like with me. You know, like I don't really eat it, but I think growing up, definitely loved the Reese's. You know, whether it was the Reese cups, it was the Reese Pieces. Those were fun.
Yeah, I like the Pieces.
Yeah.
And it's weird we say Pieces, isn't it?
It is weird.
Yeah. Because it's Reese's. It's not Reese's. Reese.
So it's supposed to be Reese's Pieces?
Yeah, but everybody says Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
Yeah. Just
Reese's
really effeminate.
Pieces. Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
I never really thought of that.
Yeah, Reese's Pieces. I gotta stop saying it. I feel super, super lame right now. If I say Pieces one more time, I'm gonna punch myself in the testicles. Like, this is too much.
Yeah, I mean, I did love Crunch bars were fucking great.
Yeah.
I mean, the Twix, of course. Also, I always enjoyed the Three Musketeers.
Never did.
No?
Never enjoyed it.
I see. I thought those. I don't know. There was something that they weren't like too sweet, but it was like a good, like just kind of.
Was it if it was like caramel or if it was like nougat or
I
there
don't.
was something
No.
in
There was
that-
no caramel. It was
I
just like
remember always thinking those were
some
gross.
fluffy chocolatey thing that's inside of like a hard chocolate shell.
Yeah, I don't want that.
And,
That doesn't sound good to me.
and also Carmelos. I remember eating my first Carmelo and was like, "What is this fucking sorcery of chocolate and caramel?"
I don't recall those.
They're in a square shape. If you buy them, they come in like 5 or 6 like squares attached as like one bar,
Uh-huh.
and it's just milk chocolate shell, and there's just caramel. It's just filled with caramel.
That
That's
sounds
it.
good.
It's literally just. It's like a gusher, but it's chocolate and caramel.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those. I remember being like, "Holy fuck, this is amazing."
Huh. Yeah, I do not have any recollection of that candy. Yeah, Milky Ways I would put in my like bottom. Like those were always the ones I would put, like when I dumped out my bag candy, I would always like pull those to the side, and those would be the first that I would make trades with.
Nice.
I'm like, I don't. The exchange rate's 5 to 1. Like I'll give you 5 of these for something good because these
Yeah.
are gross.
All right, so this is actually pretty good. All right, so Milky Ways.
Yeah, definitely on the bottom for me.
What other like ones where you're like, fuck this, fuck that. This is the worst.
I never cared for almond joys or mounds.
Yeah,
or like peppermint patties. I always thought were super gross.
Yeah, peppermint patties. I'm okay with. I gotta admit, I thought that once we started talking about candy here, I thought for sure that you were gonna say something stupid like almond joys or mounds. I was already getting myself set up to ready like start yelling, call you a dumb bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But okay. So if you want to get angry about something, I'll give you something to get angry about here. So back to the whole. I'm gonna go off on peanut butter now. Reese's Pieces aside, I will never eat a peanut butter cup. I think they're fucking disgusting.
Like the actual Reese's cups?
Yeah, I think they're gross.
Why?
The peanut butter is terrible. In fact, peanut butter itself is fucking disgusting. It's terrible.
Wait, you don't like peanut butter at all?
At all. It's been terrible since I was a kid. It has never improved. It's never changed. It's always been trash. It is purely for poor people that can't afford meat on their sandwich. If you can't afford meat, you got peanut butter and jelly. I've been saying this since I was like 6.
Dude, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are
like,
fucking bussin'.
My mom was like, I made peanut butter and jelly, and I'm like, did you get fired? Are we unemployed now?
Listen,
like what happened here? Never. Fuck that. It's disgusting.
Listen, I have a friend that put on an entire show over years and be like, I can't eat peanut butter. It's fucking disgusting. And we're like, no way. And we'd be like, here, just take a scoop. And he'd take a bite and then basically like fake gagging. We know he was faking it. We're like, why are you doing this to try to be cool? Like, we already like you. Yeah. And put on this big fucking show. Were you also just trying to be cool in front of your friends? Like, no, peanut butter sucks, dude.
No. And I honestly, when I was a little kid, this is probably very surprising, but I didn't have a lot of friends. So,
okay.
Yeah. But no, I never liked it. I never liked the peanutty pieces in chunky peanut butter. And the only thing, it always made me think of poop. Like poop with peanuts in it.
Okay.
So texturally, it was always like a mouthful of peanutty poop. And the only thing worse than that was if it was smooth, because then it was just like stick to the roof of your mouth mush and no texture whatsoever. It's just gross.
Well, a plain peanut butter sandwich is like eating like a fucking Italian sub with no lube. Like, the jelly's there for the lube and additional flavor.
Yeah.
Because, yes, don't get me wrong, you're still going to probably stick to the roof of your mouth. But mixing that PB&J, dude, together is so good.
Gross. And I remember when they came out with that peanut butter and jelly, they all came in the same container.
Yeah, they're called like Goober.
Yeah, Goober.
Yeah.
And it was just like lines of peanut butter. And God, you're fucking disgusting in a child.
Yeah, it was like swirled.
That was so gross. Like, that's for the poorest families.
No, you're the person that doesn't like peanut butter.
That's because we could always afford ham.
So could we.
I don't think you could. Call your mom.
Yeah, all right, let's hey, Mom, tell the bagel that we can afford ham.
Yeah.
No,
you couldn't. That's why you had peanut butter.
Listen, I still like PB&Js. And the funny thing is,
lots of people like stuff that they enjoyed when they were poor, Tony. Lots of people love that shit. It's very nostalgic.
Listen,
like,
fuck
back
you.
When I was poor, I used to like cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape, and I still rock that shit, even though I'm a fucking millionaire.
Back when I was poor,
yeah, exactly. When it's we got a loaf of Wonder Bread, a jar of peanut butter, and a thing of government jelly, and that was supposed to be lunches for the next 3 weeks. You were poor.
Listen here, choosy moms choose Jif, not government shit.
They're
just so you know,
because they don't have options, which is what makes poor people poor. Rich people have options, like I'll have turkey or ham.
Well, sorry that I also wasn't raised as a Jew.
That's right. Yeah, I'm over here, the Jew arguing for ham.
You're just out being like not poor.
That's how rich we were. Us Jews were eating pork.
No, listen,
we weren't some of those poor Jews who couldn't afford pork.
I think I have like a PB&J as an adult probably like once, like every couple years, and every time I have one, I'm like, fuck, this is so good. Like, why don't I buy PB&J and make this shit at home? Or like, fuck, I'll pack my own lunch, and take those. But then
you're gonna go to work. You're gonna go to work your job,
Yeah,
where
as an
they
adult.
pay you as an adult.
Yeah.
You're going to pull out your brown lunch sack
Well-
with a clear plastic baggie, and you're going to pull out your fucking PB&J. They're going to hand you a helmet and tell you to mop the same spot on the floor until your shift's over. They're going to pay you $7 an hour, and they're going to be like, yeah, we get a credit for hiring people like this. Like,
Listen, I'm not bringing a brown paper bag.
you're going to cut off the crusts?
No, I like the crust.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not bringing a brown paper bag, though.
Well, what are you doing? You're just going to have it
It's
in your
a
pocket?
sandwich baggie.
And that's it?
Yeah, I'm an adult. I don't need to
What
carry
are
an
you-
entire sack lunch.
You're going to walk into your job holding
With a visible
clear plastic bag with a
abso-fucking-lutely.
PB&J inside of it.
You know what, though? Everybody in there is going to be like, PB&J? Fuck yeah, dude.
You should bring enough for everybody, and then you should sell them.
Oh, damn, that's a sick idea.
That's right. That's how you get
Yeah.
rich off of this poor shit. You start selling $1 PB&Js. We'll turn this into a fucking empire.
Fucking let's go.
Yeah.
All right, well, fuck you and peanut butter. So,
You with peanut butter.
so what's some of the other candies that
All right.
didn't hold up?
Well, how about all right, here's an interesting question. What are your thoughts on licorice?
black licorice is dog shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Red licorice, like Twizzlers, fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's not great, but like,
I like it.
yeah, I'll have it.
Yeah.
Sure, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a whole bag of them.
Yeah, that's so much.
Do you remember when they used to do the pull and peel Twizzlers?
No, I thought those were red vines.
So red vines are the OG, but Twizzler tried to do
Oh.
their own thing because technically theirs is also kind of like twisted, you
Gotcha.
know?
Yeah, yeah.
So they're like, well, what if we just make these a little bigger? And then they were doing the same shit.
What
because,
if we string cheese our Twizzlers?
right, because red vines weren't like a huge candy.
No,
like,
not at
you know,
all.
like people forgot about them. So they're like, let's bring back that market because kids love to peel shit.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
Yeah, I remember them having like a pull and peel Twizzlers
Yeah,
as well.
I like those. That's a movie theater candy for me. Twizzlers.
Yeah, that feels about right.
Yeah. Like I've never seen like, not that I think these are good anyway, but like Milk Duds, Sour Patch Kids.
I like Sour Patch Kids.
Me too. In
Yeah.
fact, I got a bag of them when we went to the movies last time, and it was fucking great. But not the day after. It's just so much fucking sugar, and I drank
yeah.
like a 64-ounce Diet Coke. Like when my mouth would get all fucking blown out with all the sourness, I'd be like, "Oh, cool! I'll just chase that with phenylketoneuronic fucking Diet Coke and phosphates." And
Yeah, what's
so gross.
what the fuck is it called? The
like-
aspartame.
Yeah, it's like burning holes through my teeth. Yeah, it was a lot.
Dude, here's another one I fucking hate. Snow caps.
I was all right. Here we go.
Also movie theater.
Ding, ding, ding. Let's start a fight.
Oh, hold on.
I love it.
We got a bell now.
Round one. I love snow caps.
For real?
Yeah. Do you know what they're actually called? Snow caps is the movie
The
theater
caps of snow?
name. They're not the snow caps themselves.
Oh.
You dumb shit.
Well, that's what you said.
the candy. When those candies are called nonpareils. I don't know why. I don't know what a Perel is.
I was gonna
why
ask.
that's not one, but. Yeah, this is why
Okay.
we need a fucking bartender / booth guy. So I'm gonna be like, hey, dipshit,
Yeah, look this up for
shots.
us.
Let's go and look up what's a non. It's
Okay.
so it's non and then PAREIL.
What
Non-Perel.
is a non? And you said PER.
PAR.
Oh, PAREIL.
EIL. Yeah, non-Perels.
Okay.
So those are just like the chocolate kind of almost like coins with those little tiny like sugar balls on the outside of them.
It just says that it's non-Perel means having no match or equal.
Huh.
So wait, is that like that cocky of us to be like our shit's so good that no one can fucking like
I love it even more now.
match up
Yeah,
with
yeah, this
can
is-
even compare to what we just fucking gave you guys?
This is go fuck yourself.
Oh,
Other candies, candy.
that
and I
is the
love it
most
so much right now.
dog shit thing. It's like
love
fucking,
it.
like the ragu jar pasta sauce. It means you're
Yeah.
welcome in Italian.
Right.
And they're like, dude, our shit is so fucking good.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck off.
Oh,
Fuck
that's
you.
awesome.
Fuck ragu. Fuck snowcaps.
All right, fuck ragu is right. That's another conversation for another time. Snowcaps, I'm never calling them that. I'm calling them non-Perels forever, and that explains all of it. Actually, maybe I subconsciously did know that, but my life is lived like a fucking non-Perel baby. Like I am non-Perel all the time. That's why I just argued that peanut butter is for poor people, and now I like this candy that says has no equal. I'm very elitist
Dude,
with my culinary going on.
Yeah, you're fucking. What a palate you have for these fucking
Yeah, when I was 6.
snow caps.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what's funny too is like when they give the examples of like the nouns for like the words there. Number 2 says a flat round candy made of chocolate covered with white sugar sprinkles.
Yeah.
Sounds racist, but you know.
I love it. I can't believe I never looked that up. But maybe I did, and maybe that's why I love it, because that is the most elitist shit I've ever heard.
That is fucking
without
ridiculous.
equal, and
Those
it's literally a fucking dollop of chocolate with sugar balls.
This is duck shit. Listen,
I love them.
All right, I got one that's probably unpopular opinion.
Okay.
Butterfingers. I hate Butterfingers. That's a piece of shit candy.
I think it's a piece of shit candy too. I can't remember the last time I had one, but I don't ever remember enjoying having one.
I haven't had one since I was a kid. I tried it multiple times. I'm like, man, Bart Simpson's eating them now.
Yeah, that's exactly why, right?
Yeah, and then I'm like, listen, fuck you, Bart, dude. Like, this candy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't even know what the hell that is on the inside.
Neither do I. There's nothing butter about it.
No.
I don't know.
It's only, I mean, it would always slip out of Homer's fingers and right into Bart's.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the fuck that is. Let's see. What's inside a Butterfinger?
It's almost like
we need to fucking hire somebody.
Yeah,
I don't have to do this shit all
this
the time.
is bullshit. There's no reason that we should be in 100 cities and looking up our fucking own descriptions of Halloween candies.
All right, so it says, what is the orange stuff in Butterfingers? It's been around since the 1920s. Did you know that?
No.
They have a crispy peanut butter layer that is covered in chocolate. So the crunchy orange filling is made by combining a cooked hard candy with peanut butter.
That makes sense.
Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense why you don't like it because of the peanut butter, but
Yeah.
I love peanut butter,
Yeah.
and that fucking cooked hard candy
That's
thrown
not
is
peanut butter.
fucking everything up.
Yeah. They're going in the right direction for me. I like the texture. I like the crunchiness of the shit that's inside of the Butterfinger. I just don't like the flavor of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had one since I was like 8. I'm like, fuck that.
Although I did see somebody at the Giant Eagle the other day wearing a T-shirt that said "Buttfinger" on it, and
That's pretty good.
I think I tried to give him like a high five, and he walked right past me, which was humbling. But yeah, Buttfinger, I thought it was great.
Circus peanuts?
Dog shit. Probably the worst fucking candy of all
The
time.
absolute fucking
Oh my god,
worst.
the worst. I had in my big boy job, when we were having like a team huddle or a team meeting, or I was just filling time talking to them, and we always put up like mood boards. So I put up a mood board, and I was like, which of these candies is who you are? And I put up 9 different candies, and one of them I put up, and it was candy corn.
Mm-hmm.
And I put it up there for profiling purposes. Like, you're fired if you pick this out of all these candies. And this one chick immediately said candy corn. And I was like, you've got to be fucking
Candy
kidding me.
corn is also dog shit.
It's dog shit.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, I love it. And I'm like, no, you don't. Nobody fucking loves it. I'm like, you tolerate it, and then you tell people you love it because it makes you different. And she's like, no, I fucking love it. She's like, I eat it all year round. And I'm like, that's
No, you don't.
crazy, and no, you fucking don't. I'm like, what other candies do you like? And she was like, circus peanuts. And I'm like, are you fucking trying to piss me off right now?
She should be hung.
Oh my god, it was like, and there was something else. There was some other horrible. Oh, it was like those like Necco wafers.
Oh, they're so like chalky. Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I'm like, you like those? And she's like, yeah, like those Valentine's
She's
candies.
gaslighting
like
you, dude.
That's what I said. I'm like, this is bullshit. You're just trying to get me to call you a word I'm not allowed to, so I get fired. You can have my job. Which she was getting real close to. Like,
Yeah.
circus peanuts. Who the fuck eats that shit?
And dude, candy corns are so bad that they make butt plugs out of them now, and those go in your ass.
Yeah.
They're like, this is a piece of shit candy, and this is where it belongs, up your ass.
I do follow this guy on Facebook, the Vulgar Chef, and I don't know if you saw. I mean, he only just makes things to annoy people. And for Halloween this year, he was doing candy corn meatballs. So he just like made
Just to get a rise out of fucking
meat,
people.
and then would put 3 candy corns inside, form them into the ball, then he fried them and then cooked them, and then he showed you like he took a bite of one and opened up the middle, and you could see like the remnants of candy corn colors inside.
Yeah.
Of it. And I was like, this is perfect to hand out on Halloween. Like, come to my house one time, and then that's
Getting
when
fucking
that's when they're gonna
meatballs.
start. That's when they're gonna start the new rumor. Don't go to that Jew's house. He hands out the fucking candy corn meatballs, and they're probably filled with weed edibles.
Gosh, those are the worst fucking candies.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that they made like one batch of candy corn ever and just like made like 3 trillion pounds of it, and then it's
On
just
accident.
been circulating ever since.
Yeah.
Because the only time you ever see it is in a candy dish, like at your grandma's house, and it's always that every candy corn is stuck together and stuck to the candy dish. You have to break them up. You know they're from last season, and you knew last season they were from the season before. They're fucking gross.
Yeah, they're indestructible.
Gross.
Like if there's a fucking, post-apocalyptic shit, you're gonna probably still find
Yeah.
fucking candy corns.
Yeah.
Speaking of grandmas, Werther's, dude.
I kind of think they're awesome.
They're amazing,
They're awesome.
dude. They're so good.
They're so good.
They're so good. That's
Yeah.
a grandma candy, but that's
100%
fucking
grandma candy.
so
fucking
good.
though. Yeah,
Love
I can
those
get down
things.
on where there's no. I think they're awesome.
Yeah.
And they're not even candies. They're like throat lozenges to grandmas.
But there's
You'll be like, and she'll be like, hold on, let me get you a fucking caramel. And you're like, what? That's not medically correct, but that sounds like that's why everybody has diabetes now. It's
Yeah.
because grandmas were just like, oh, do you have the sniffles? Here's a bag of caramels. Like, that's not going to help, I don't think, Grandma MD. But yeah.
what about costumes? Like dressing up.
What about it?
Like what's like some of like the dopest ones you've done? And I don't care if it's a kid or as an adult. Like I've
Okay.
got a few in mind that are all adult stuff. I don't remember
Sure.
much was of the kid stuff, but
For me, the most fun costume and probably the best done I've ever sported was the one I just changed my profile pic to, which was Trump from a couple years ago.
oh, dude, yeah, I remember that for your Halloween party.
Yeah, that was awesome. And not just because the costume was awesome. My wife did the makeup. I mean, how hard is it to dress like Trump? I got a goofy, ridiculous blonde wig.
Yeah,
She painted my face orange and left my eyes super white. And I wore a suit with a red tie. It was that simple.
Yeah.
But taking on the Donald and
persona.
the persona of the Donald was so fun because I got this koozie that said this red koozie that said "Make America Drunk Again."
nice.
And I got a 375 milliliter bottle of Jameson, and I put that in the koozie. I wasn't even drinking beer. I was just drinking straight fucking whiskey out of it. And as the night progressed and I got more and more hammered, my Trump impersonation got better, at least I thought so, and better. And I was just like calling everybody peasants. And I was just having the time of my life. It was so, anytime anybody would say anything, I was calling it fake news. Like, it was so fun to be the Donald for a minute. And, like, I walked into the Richland that night, and they always have a costume contest. And it's a big deal. They do, like a $500 prize for it. I happened to show up, like, 10 minutes after it was over. And I walked in and was just giving the thumbs up to a bunch of people. And all these people were like, holy fuck, dude. They're like, you might have won. That costume is fucking tits. I had literally
It
had
was pretty
chicks
good.
asking me to, like, take pictures with me of me, like, sexually assaulting them. Like, I had chicks that were like, will you hold my tits and take a selfie with me? And I'm like, do you see Ruth Bader Ginsburg over there? That's my wife, and she probably won't go for that. I'm like, it would be a really funny picture, but I don't think I'm going to be allowed because RBG is not going to let that happen.
Yeah, I'm no Trumper, but that was a great costume.
Yeah, that was a great, even if, yeah, Trump or not, it was a fucking great, hilarious costume.
That was good.
So that was definitely my favorite adult one. And then as a child, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, but my Uncle Billy, he convinced me when I was like 5 or 6 years old. I wanted to be something scary for Halloween, and I had never seen the show before, but he convinced me that Care Bears were like wild, feral animals in the forest. So he dressed me up as like the light blue one. His name was like Nighttime Bear, which I
Okay.
thought was scary as fuck, right? I'm like, oh shit, this dude hunts at night, and my
Yeah.
uncle's like, yeah.
While
No,
you're
his
sleeping.
superpower is that like he makes you fall asleep and take a nap and have delightful dreams until everything's over. Like,
Yeah.
you know, when he rubs his tummy and his power comes out or whatever. I found that out as an adult, but when I was a kid, he was taking me door to door going trick or treating, and I was like roaring and making like ferocious gestures at people, and they're all like, oh, and like patting the top of my head, and I'm like looking at my uncle like, what the fuck? Like, how come nobody's scared of me? And he's like, I don't know, maybe put in a little bit more effort. I'm like, ugh. So we just
Could be
kept on
such a
going house
bitch
to
about it.
Yeah, we just keep going to house, and I'm like trying to sell it more. And at the end, I'm like, fucking nobody thinks I'm scary, and he's dying laughing the whole time. Good for him. You must do it up for Halloween costumes. What about you?
I do. I think, and what's funny is that actually I had some memories come through today of previous costumes. So I thought that I would save them and give you a little show here.
Yeah.
One of my favorites was about 10 years ago when I was Pee Wee Herman. Take a look at that.
Oh, I've seen this picture before, and that is fucking incredible, by the way.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, dude. Like, that looks like that could have been taken at a wax museum. Like, that looks like Wax Museum Pee-wee.
Thank you. And then here was Sweeney Todd, probably like 4 or 5 years, probably before that.
Oh, dude, you're so lucky. It's just that beautiful hair that you have.
Yeah, it
You're so
was
lucky.
longer at the time, so I was able to pull that off.
Yeah. Yeah, you could pull. I mean, you have like that look about you where you could pull off a lot of costumes. I think pretty successfully.
Well, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Like you could Charlie Day so fucking easy.
That's actually
You should
the
be
only
Pepe
person that I
Sylvia.
get as a doppelganger.
You should get you should be Pepe Sylvia one year.
Yeah.
I got boxes full of Pepe. Like that would be fucking great. All you would have to do is like just bring a fucking easel with you and chain smoke, and you could do Pepe Sylvia. That would be great.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, you could pull off.
That would be good.
Charlie Day so simple.
That, or also when he's got like the long johns on, like, and
yeah.
he's like fucking like screaming about the fucking the Charlie sandwiches. The
Chocolate
grill-
goes on the outside of a hot Charlie or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that outfit with the long johns and like
Yep.
the band T-shirt.
Yeah, and have like some silver spray paint around your mouth, like you've been huffing the fucking,
Yeah.
the paint. And-
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah, you could do that for sure. Or I mean, you could do like we went to what was it, Lakewood Village Tavern one year, and they were doing for Halloween they were doing like an Always Sunny pop up type of a deal. And Phil, I don't know if you remember, Phil Galis was there. And he had
I know Phil.
He had the yellow suit on so that he was Charlie at the end of The Night Man Cometh when he sings the song at the end.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. And he was amazing, and I mean, he looked just like it, so you could pull off stuff like that too. But yeah.
1 year I was you ever seen the show My Name is Earl?
A few times, yeah.
I was Earl from that.
Oh, we could do a couple's costume with that. I could be the fat guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
his
always call
brother.
him Tuna. I don't know what his name is on the show.
It's been forever. I forget what his brother's name is. It's been a long time since I watched that show, but I used to fucking love it. And the funny thing is that he always had a problem every time he was getting his picture taken. His eyes were always closed. He could never keep his eyes open. So literally, and all the photos I'm in, my eyes are closed.
That's
with like
awesome.
he's got this like weird like little smirk.
That's awesome.
And then this year, which we went to a party on Saturday and got first prize.
Nice.
And we've been like purposely not posting it because we're planning on doing some more shit this weekend and just kind of make it a surprise for everybody. But this is going to air till Monday,
That's true.
so
And
I'll tell
I won't
you.
tell anybody, yeah.
Jess and I, have you ever seen Little Nicky?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so I was Little Nicky and Jess was Tithead. Look at this.
No way.
Look at that.
Oh my God, those are both great.
Dude, like
That's
how
awesome.
good, like dude, like getting like she's got like the boobs on the head and
that's
like
awesome.
oh dude, it's fucking great, man.
Plus, you must have so much fun doing a character like that because that's just a super fun character to play.
Oh,
And just
absolutely.
be in character. That's why Trump was so fun because I just got to be in character the entire time.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, look at me, I'm wearing a scary mask, but I'm Dave Cohn. It's like I was Donald Trump for 8 fucking hours.
Yeah.
And you get to be Little Nicky, so that's super fun.
Oh yeah, I literally was just walking around the party going, "Get in the flask.
Right, exactly.
Popeye's chicken is fucking awesome."
Exactly. And you sound exactly like him
Yeah,
too, of course.
And of course, then I had some bourbon in the flask, so it was dope too. Be like, "Get in the flask.
Smart.
You want a shot?"
That's great.
You know, pass it around.
That's so awesome.
Yeah,
I love that Jess gets into that too.
yeah, me too. I fucking love it, dude. Like, man. And there's also a year too where we dressed up as each other.
Wow.
And I mean, there's a lot of people, listeners, that don't know, but Jess has like crazy, beautiful, like red hair.
Yeah.
And I'm usually a dude that's got like a fucking hat with a bent brim and like a fucking
a Lost Boys hat
skater's
on.
hoodie,
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly,
whatever.
right.
Facial piercings, a beard, and Jess has also,
How funny.
you know, like we've done that for a Halloween one year, and also won. I think we won best couples costume.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we definitely get into it. It's definitely a favorite of ours.
My mom was me for Halloween one year when I was still living with her when I was like 16 or 17 years old.
Interesting.
Yeah. She was just, I don't know what she was trying to prove, but I always hung out in the basement of the house. That was like my area. And I went to go down to the basement because I was sneaking some beers before I was going out with my friends. And I go down there and I go to turn the lights on and like none of the light switches work. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I hear this snoring. And I'm like, who the fuck is down here? And my mom's, and she's wearing all black. She's got like makeup on, like she's got a 5 o'clock shadow. She's pretending to ignore me. And then she just starts cursing. And she's like, who the fuck is, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to sleep. And then she's like pretending that she's like getting, like she pulled out a beeper because I had a beeper back then.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like playing with the beeper and she's like, oh shit, I have to go to Denny's and smoke cigarettes and drink coffee and pretend I don't drink coffee or smoke cigarettes for the next 6 hours. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Mom? I'm like, this isn't a costume for you to go out. You're just being an asshole.
You're just being a dick.
You're just being a dick for 10 minutes. How much time did you put into this to piss me off for 10 minutes before I go out for the night? She's like, whatever, I might not even come home for like 2 weeks because I'm a fucking rebel named David. I'm like, I don't understand you. But now, fucking hilarious.
Mom, I don't think you get it.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the attempt.
Oh, it's great.
You do sound like an asshole, which, you know, I don't know, were you like also kind of like an asshole?
Oh, totally.
Like, I mean, I guess teenager, right? So, you know, being
I was your
fucking
normal
angsty.
17-year-old dude who was raised by his mommy.
Yeah.
I've been the man of the house since I was 1. So yeah, I was a fucking dickhead.
Here, take a look at this. This is Jess and I,
Oh, that's amazing.
right?
Yeah.
Like, and she's got the fucking like
I love it. I see the 5. I love the beard,
the piercings.
the piercing. Yeah, the big hat. Of
Yeah,
course.
she's got the Voodoo Glow Skulls
That
hat,
is
which we
fucking
usually
great.
use for pulling the names. So
That's amazing.
yeah,
That's so awesome that she's such a good sport and gets into that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
no, it's definitely fucking super dope.
Yeah, I remember when my mom did that. I came up from the basement. I'm like, you're such a dumb bitch sometimes. I'm like walking up the stairs, and there's my sister, and she's standing there, and she's like, did you think that was funny? She's like trying to make fun of me, and I'm like, Mom loves me enough that she wore a Dave costume. Like, where's her Ann costume?
Yeah,
Has she
I'm the
ever-
number one son.
Exactly. I was like, has she ever been you for Halloween? I'm like, you know why? It's because you're adopted. And I'm like, why? She's like, you're such a fuck. Stop saying that. My sister has super red hair. Nobody else in the family does. I've told Anne she was adopted since I was like 3 years old. I've been planting that seed that she's adopted. And yeah, I think it's finally starting to take.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I'm like, well, if she loved you more, maybe she'd be you for Halloween.
Yeah.
Also, that she doesn't because you're not actually part of our family. So enjoy renting your room when you're 18 or whatever when she kicks you out because you don't technically live here. She's like, ooh. My sister's like crying and my mom's downstairs laughing and snoring. And I'm like, fuck both of you, like walking out of the house on Halloween. Good times. Gangster in Bay Village. So fun.
Yeah, the good old days.
Yeah.
Have you experienced anything like spooky? Like, have you ever had any like ghost experiences?
I
Like,
have not. And you know what? I'm not a believer in that stuff.
Mhm.
I'm definitely not. Jen definitely is. And when we lived over on 54th, we were right between Detroit and Franklin. So we're right by the Franklin Castle,
yeah,
2 blocks away from
which I
Franklin Castle.
still have never been to.
Arguably the most haunted place in Ohio. Like, I mean, it's on that list. Like, it's getting
Yeah.
into like documentaries and shit on Netflix. Like,
Yeah.
it's that big. And so we live 2 blocks away from it. I think this past year, they just did like the first time they did a tour of it for Halloween. They never used to let anybody in.
Well, yeah, because it was like
It's a
basically like
historic site.
condemned.
And condemned.
Yeah,
So we would go, I mean, when we would get off the highway to go to our house, we would be looking directly at it when we made the left-hand turn onto Franklin before we went down our street. So we would see it like almost every day. And one night, I'm driving, and we get to the light, and Franklin Castle's right in front of us, and Jen's like, stop. And I'm like, we're at a fucking red light. I'm like, what are you being so dramatic about? And she's like, look at the windows. And I'm like, okay. And I'm looking at all the windows. I'm expecting to see like a person, like a silhouette, like something that looks spooky. And there's nothing. And I've scanned every single window. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, you don't see the windows? And I'm like, what about them? And she goes, the one on the top right, it's open. And I'm like, uh-huh. And she goes, but all the other times, it's been closed. And I go, but open is the only other fucking option, Jen. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It either is or it isn't. Like,
they could have been renovating it and painted it and had the window open.
it could be fucking anything. There could be a homeless person up there taking a shit in there for all I know. Like, that's not
Airing it
spooky.
out.
Yeah. She's like, this is so paranormal. I'm like, no, it fucking isn't. Just because a window isn't closed doesn't mean that there's a fucking ghost in there. And the whole time she's like, that was so freaky, wasn't it? I'm like, God, thank God you're good looking, because otherwise, not a whole lot going for you. But no, I've not had any type of paranormal anything. I've never been somebody who like believes in like Ouija board shit. Like, I don't put stock into any of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I also don't really like believe in it. I feel like I've come across like a few weird experiences. Like when we were, I don't know, like 16. My buddy lived and his mom. They lived in this like apartment that was above a bar. It's called the Century Tavern. The bar doesn't. It's not open anymore. I think it died off with COVID or whatever the fuck.
Sure.
But it was in fact a hiding spot during the Underground Railroad.
Okay.
So in the basement, they sealed off the walls, but there's a whole fucking tunnel that's going like through there where they're like running through and trying to, you know, but there'd be times that like, you know, we'd go over to his house like after school and it's like him and I bullshitting on the couch, like catching up on the day, and like a photo would just come off of the wall and like onto the floor. And then like the bar is not open yet. There's like a jukebox playing, you know, and vibrations are going on. We've heard shit fly across the kitchen. And there was also times where like, so up in the attic, it was like our band practice room, and it's like also like kind of like hang out. And there'd be times where, like we'd be like going to bed and we'd hear somebody fucking pacing up there. And we're like, oh, it's probably like our buddy Justin. Like he came over, he was like jamming, you know, or whatever. Right. But it'd be like, dude, all right, this is getting annoying. Enough's enough. And then go upstairs, and then there's no one up there.
Yeah, my old roommate Anthony, he was a big believer in that stuff, and like he told me that like he'd seen ghosts in his house when I lived with him, and like he told me one night that he had seen like he saw like a reflection of a person in a window or something, but he was the only one in the house and stuff like that, and he was really a big believer in it. I was never a big believer into it at all. But one year close to Halloween, he was deathly afraid of clowns. Definitely afraid
I know
of
a lot of
clowns,
people that are like that.
which is so weird to me. But whatever. I mean, sure. I guess that kind of makes sense. They're a little creepy. So it's irrational fears, right? It's not supposed to be rational. But he was deathly afraid of clowns. So I had a somewhat scary clown mask, and he had a billy club that he would leave by the front door because we didn't live in a great neighborhood. And I picked up the billy club and I put the mask on, and I stood. Our front door was almost always open if somebody was home, and I stood behind the closed front door. And he walked into the house, and as soon as he did, I just like pushed the door closed a little bit, and I started mirroring his steps. So I followed him around the house, but I followed him like through 3 different rooms without him noticing me. And then finally, I just stood there completely still, and he was like he was looking around for me because he's like, "Why is the front door open and Dave's not here?" I lived on the first floor. There was no reason for me to be in the basement or upstairs. And so finally, he like walked into the kitchen. He's like, "What the fuck? Where is this asshole?" And he turns around, and there I am holding the billy club and wearing this clown mask, and he dropped to the floor like immediately. I mean, I've never seen actual terror in somebody's eyes before, but he thought he was going to be murdered in that moment.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he was fucking furious.
Probably shit his pants.
He was not. Yeah, he had been at the bar all night. He was not like. It wasn't like, "Oh, dude, you got me." It was like, "You should move out tomorrow." Like, this is going to be a conversation that's not going to end well for you. I'm going to bed. Go fuck yourself for the rest of your life. Yeah. But what a weird fear. I don't know. Clowns?
Yeah, clowns are definitely, and I know a lot of people that are terrified of clowns.
I don't get it. But it's not for me to get.
Yeah. There was a dope time, like a handful of years back. We went to the Mansfield prison.
I've been there, yeah.
But we got to do the stay the night, like ghost hunting tour thing. And like it was like you had to have like I don't know, like 15 people like in your group in order to like rent it out for the night. But you got there at like 7, 8 o'clock. They would give you a tour for like an hour and a half around the entire place. And by that time, like it's like sundown, right?
Yeah.
So they would shut the power off in the entire prison except for one room, which is like the hangout room if you need to like chill or take a break. And they'd supply like water, coffee, pizza, you know, donuts, whatever. But they basically just like, you're on your own, you know, with flashlights and cameras and recorders, what have yous. Like, there would be a person that would be like on the grounds but outside,
Right.
you know, in case an emergency happens. But I mean, it was just fucking dope to just walk through
Yeah, that would be
an
fun.
abandoned prison in the middle of the night in complete darkness.
Sure. And even if you're not like, oh, there's probably ghosts here, that's fucking scary regardless.
Yeah.
Like, just to be in a place where such horrific things have happened and have to spend the night there in pitch black, and there's going to be sounds you're going to hear and it's going to freak you out, and that would be fun.
So, and like the thing is, like, you're right. And yes, yeah, like that is kind of part of the fun. There was so we broke off into like 3 groups of like 5 or so, so that when everyone's like on top of each other,
Right.
or and there was one couple that came with us, and they're also big horror fans, at least so I thought. At least, like, I don't know, the wife maybe not so much, but there was a point where she like freaked herself out, and I'm pretty sure it was like someone's shadow. But she got so freaked out, and mind you, we were only there for about, like, during the ghost hunting part, for like maybe an hour or so, and she was like hyperventilating, and like
it's
had to
time to
go
go.
outside. And so he's like, I'll take her outside. And what we would do is, like, every 2 hours we would regroup out into the parking lot,
Yeah, all
have a
meet
quick
up.
smoke break, meet up, see if anything cool happened, trade off places. But they went out there, and so we were out there like, you guys good? And they're like, the husband's like, we're gonna go
Yeah,
home,
we're calling it.
right? And everyone lived in Lakewood, so that's like an hour plus drive to
Right.
get down to fucking Mansfield.
Yeah.
And you had to pay, is like $75 a person.
Yeah.
So they've just
You
spent
threw in
$150
$150 for an hour to be scared a little and then go home.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Which is ridiculous. I mean, we tried doing anything. We were setting up video cameras. We bought like a jack and or like the ball and jacks to like
Yeah.
try to see if like something would move it. Nothing happened. Nobody got anything on tape. There was one point when we were walking through like the cell blocks and going in up and down the floors that I thought I saw there was like a blanket or something hanging over the railing. And then we went and took the break, and when we came back, it wasn't there. But I don't know if I also was just seeing like a shadow or something. But
Right.
I'm not going to claim that as paranormal.
Well, you can. I mean, right? Why not? Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, I mean, it was still dope either way. Especially it was fun, just like when we were like
Yeah,
upstairs, and like a friend group was like downstairs at the stairwell, and I would just like slam on the floor, and
Fuck
everyone
yeah.
screams.
Yeah.
You know, that was more fun for me.
Right.
And it was just dope to walk around an abandoned prison in the
Definitely.
dark. You
Yeah,
know.
that does sound fun.
Yeah.
All right, man. Here we are wrapping her up.
Where are we at on time?
1 hour and 7 minutes.
Oh man, that went
I
by
know,
so fast.
fucking fast.
I even wanted to get into some spooky movies as my next
Yeah,
thing
we
here.
had like a couple more topics, but we'll get into them again.
Okay.
All right, so what do we want to do for the old? I was going to call it the polio, but that's not a good name
Well,
for
that's
it.
that's not that's not the.
What do you want to do for the next polio? No, that's not what I meant. All right. So what are we thinking? What do we want people to call in or text in about, so we can talk about your favorite candies or your least favorite candies?
I think that's probably a pretty good one.
That's probably a really good one.
I think.
And if you want to leave us a voicemail about anything paranormal, like, if you want to say, hey, you guys are idiots, I can tell you firsthand right now, it's absolutely a real thing, and here's how I know, because here's what happened. We'll listen to that. We'll play it on air, or maybe, if you're interested, maybe we'll get you on air and you can tell your story and let us know what happened.
Also true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll let you come on for a little
Tis the
interview.
season. I like Halloween stuff kind of starting in October, but not only in October. I know you
yeah.
like it all year round.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for me, October and November, the winter months for me are the spooky time of year. So I'm all about, keeping this going throughout more episodes.
Yeah, because it's like dark earlier.
Yeah.
Real quick before we break, can we talk about how bullshit the time?
Daylight savings time?
Yeah.
That's so fucking dumb.
So dumb. I thought they were going to be done with this like this year. They're like,
Dude,
not yet.
I had a meeting. I had an hour-long meeting at work the other day about the Gregorian calendar. Do you know what that is?
Isn't it like for like the farmers thing that they're
Sort of. I don't fucking know. I didn't pay attention to the meeting. You
Okay.
know why? Because it's not 1500.
yeah.
I don't need a Gregorian calendar. I have one on my phone. I have one on my watch. I have one on my laptop. Like, I don't need. Well, we're going to be closing payroll differently because of the Gregorian calendar. I'm like, that sounds awesome. Are we worried about an insurrection? Like, what exactly is happening that we're defaulting to this fucking old school calendar? So dumb. But yeah, daylight savings time also dumb, and that's something we can talk about for another episode. Which is coming up.
Yeah, which I think is next Saturday, right?
Does that mean it's going to get darker sooner?
Yeah, so it goes back an hour.
Sake,
so the
man.
plus side, if you go out next Saturday on November 4th,
Which I don't.
you get an extra hour of bar time.
Which nobody needs.
No, because everyone's already used to being wasted by 2 a.m. So now when it bounces back to 1, you're already fucking wasted.
Dumb.
And now the bartender's like, fuck, you're now have to deal with this for another hour and you're already fucking done.
Yep.
But yes, this means like it's now going to be getting dark at like 6 o'clock.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. Blows.
So dumb.
Listen, I love the darkness.
Yeah. But not at fucking 5:45.
No,
No.
that blows.
Fuck. Dumb. All right. Well, we'll talk about that. All right. You want to shout out our phone number one more time?
Yep. 440-363-0121.
All right. Hit us up. Let us know. Again, thank you to all of you listeners for 106 cities, 10 countries, and in the course of 5 months. Let's keep it rolling. And, yeah, we're out. Next time we see you, it'll be right about Halloween time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this will be out for
Keep
the day
it
before
spooky.
Halloween.
Don't let your kids eat those fucking apples. And if you're handing out edibles, let me know because I'll purchase them like a fucking grown-up.
No, if they're handing them out, you go to their house for trick-or-treating and be
Yeah, I
like,
don't want just one, though.
Yeah.
I want every fucking edible.
but maybe there's like a code thing, like you're here, like I'm here for the edibles.
Yeah.
Like I'm here for the gangbang. Yeah, but I'm here for the edibles.
Of course, we would mind meld for I'm here for the gangbang.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so
your
listen,
edibles.
guys, one more time, 440-363-0121. Text, voicemails. Let's go.
Let's go.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Happy Halloween.
See you next week.